everyone, and welcome back to the Candy Shop. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, here to give you my unique perspective on all things pop culture, reality TV, skincare, self care, beauty, lifestyle, and everything else in between. I know that we already went live earlier today with my girl, Candace from the Candy Shop, and then also with my girl, Cotty B. And Marcella also peeked through. So if you guys missed that live, go back and watch it after this one. It's on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Usually I cover love and marriage hip hop. I'm not love and marriage hip hop. Love and marriage Huntsville on Sunday, but yesterday I was busy, so I am doing my recap tonight. I know it's late, so I'm not going to keep you guys on for too long. I just wanted to come in and share my thoughts on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So as you come in, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and pop it in the comments. Where are you listening from? Where are you watching from? Drop your candy canes. Join the community. Hey, Sasha T. My mods are holding it down. Sasha T, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me twice in one day. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for holding it down. I really appreciate that. Again, usually I do Love and Marriage Huntsville on Sunday, but I couldn't yesterday, so we're doing it today. Hey, P says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, what is up? What is up? All right, since we are on later than usual, I'm just going to dive in. And everybody watching on the replay, be sure to comment below. I love to hear what you think about it. So comment below on what your thoughts are, and we're just going to jump right in. And as you come in the room, like, subscribe, and comment so we can go through it and do a good keep. Okay, so let's just kick off. So Melody's music shoot. I thought she actually looked really great. I thought she looked great. I thought she sounded great. I'm not sure if that's auto-tune or what, but I'm here for it. I'm here for Melody's Beyonce moment or whatever she's doing. I'm not mad at it. Do the damn thing, Melody. Do the damn thing. I did like how she did damage control when she had her friend Brittany come on the shoot scene, and the friend was just like, oh, you know, what Martell said about dropping the kids off and it wasn't a safe babysitter. Melody was doing damage control for two reasons. One, she wanted to make sure that, hey, beautiful Kamiko. I got to say hi to people as they come in. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. How are you, lovely? Thank you for coming through. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Yes, I do. So Melody was doing damage control, right? Because she wanted to make sure that she reframed the narrative of her being a bad mom that Martell was trying to put out there. So she wanted to make sure that she corrected that on screen and publicly. Hey guys, what is up? My homies are here. The Vegas girl says, hey, beautiful Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? Jay Mesa come through. Jay says, hi. Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? Hi, my beautiful Candy Canes. Come through. We're going to have a good key. And then I also think she was trying to do damage control with Brittany, her friend, right? She wanted to make sure she wanted to mend that fence. So that's what I think she was doing twofold there. And I thought the music video was cute. I thought it was good. I thought, go Melody. No biggie there. Jalen. Let's get into Jalen and I'll do Kimmy after, but I'm going to do Jalen and Marceau and Tisha. Tisha, I thought you were the MVP last episode. This episode, you are the village idiot. And I don't mean that in a mean, nasty way. I just mean girl bye. We'll talk about Tisha. We'll talk about Kimmy too. We'll just bring them all in. Hey, Elove173 says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? So let's get into it. Yay! Hey, Reparation goes, hey, hey, Candy mods and chat. Hope all is well. Can't direct like I want to. Casting to my TV show now. Oh, yay! Love it. Thank you, Reparations. All good. As long as you are here, we appreciate you being here. So thank you. And that's where I appreciate all of you being here. I'm going later than usual and on a different day than usual. So I appreciate you being here. whether you're watching with me live or catching the replay. Tisha, Marceau, Jalen, Kimmy, Black restaurant. Let's get into it. I used to think, and I'm a woman, so I'm allowed to change my mind. I used to think that Marceau didn't respect Jalen. I used to think that he thought he was soft or not competent, just kind of like whatever. So I used to think that Marceau didn't really respect Jalen. I now think did respect Jalen because he thought that he was incompetent some way, like not whatever, like couldn't do the job, whatever. I now reverse that. I now actually think that Marceau really respects Jalen as a worker and as a businessman and as an intelligent person. I think where the disrespect comes in is that Marceau thinks that Jalen is someone that he can use and exploit and manipulate. A, because it's family, and B, because of Jalen's personality, he's going to do the job and he's going to go above and beyond. So before I used to think Marceau didn't respect Jalen because he thought that Jalen wasn't competent, that Jalen kind of just wasn't all there or whatever it was, right? Now I really think Marceau knows how intelligent and how good Jalen is, but he is trying to exploit his personality and the fact that he's family to get him to work for probably a lot less than what A, general manager would make, and B, for what he's doing above and beyond being a general manager. And I'll tell you why. When there was when they were talking and Jalen was just like, oh, everybody quit. And it was like this crazy holiday weekend. And Marceau was just, and Tisha was like, oh, what are we going to do? And Marceau was just like, oh, Jalen will handle it. Jalen will figure it out. And that moment was my aha moment. And I was like, you know what? Marceau is exploiting Jalen, not because he thinks that he's incompetent, but he knows that he is competent enough to run it. And he knows that he can get away with treating him like this. Because anybody else would have walked out. Anybody else would have quit. Anybody else would have been like, sayonara, I'm done. Jalen, as a general manager, should not be cooking the food for the patrons. It's ridiculous. And Kimmy was like, oh, well, I know you're doing everybody else's job, but you have to do your job too. No, Tisha. No, Tisha. You have to hire an actual staff. You have to actually show up to your own restaurant. You actually have to do your job as the owner. It's not Jalen's job to be cooking food and being a general manager and everything else while you and Marcel are doing God knows what, but anything but running a restaurant. It was insane to me. And that's when I was just like, oh, Marceau knows that he can exploit Jalen, because that is essentially what he's doing. And that's why, because Marceau is actually, I think Marceau's probably a good business person, right? And I think that he didn't hire a seasoned general manager because he didn't want to pay a seasoned general manager what they would be required to pay. I think he's underpaying Jalen with this fake promise of having stake in the company, right? Oh, we'll pay you a little bit now, but you'll have stake in the company. Gave him no training, no help. People are doing a mass exodus, and they just expect him to do the job. This whole BS about you got to put your body and mind under stress. And once you have all the stress you're handled, then you can be stronger. That is just complete, absolute BS. Marceau, I hope you're smarter than actually to believe that BS. I really hope you are. But that is complete hogwash. Tisha, Jalen was 1,000% right to ask you if your attitude towards him had anything to do with Kimmy and you beefing with Kimmy. Because when you and your mom beef with Kimmy, both of you go after Kimmy. So don't act like just because Jalen is her son, that wouldn't be a reason for you not to beef with him. Your mother beefs with Kimmy on your behalf all of the time. You turn around and beef with Kimmy on your mother's behalf half a breath later. So Jalen, to me, was all in his right to say that. And I also call BS, complete BS, on Tisha and Marceau saying that Jalen was being smart. I'm sorry. We've seen this young man. We know Kimmy. I do not believe Jalen was being smart at all. He's honest and he is direct, but I have never seen him be disrespectful. I've never seen him be smart. Tisha and Marceau both know that they are dead wrong. They both know they are not running their restaurant the way they should be running it. They both know they do not have a competent staff the way they should have it. That's why everybody left. And they both know that they're exploiting the hell out of Jalen. It was a guilty conscience. That's why they tried to say he was being smart. It was a guilty conscience. Absolutely ridiculous. Getting fired up over here. So I'm team Jalen. I'm team Kimmy. I love that Kimmy put them in their place and she was like, no, you're not going to speak on my son like this. No, you're not. And I actually want to give a big up to Maurice, because Maurice totally had Kimmy's back and Jalen's back. And I'm happy that he did not cower to his brother. And I'm happy that he was very present and there for them. So big up to Maurice for that. Speaking of big ups and Maurice, Lois, Tiffany's husband, whatever your name is, where was your energy that you had with Tiffany last episode when she was riding that funky lawnmower, talking about, oh, they're lucky I didn't have a shot in me. Oh, he's lucky I hadn't had a lick in me, because that could have went a different way. Boy, why is you lying? Calm down with your corny self. Maurice walked in there and he looked like Boo Boo the Fool. Oh, hey man, what's up? Hey. Where was the smoke? Where was the smoke, Lois? No, you were just meek and as sheepish as you wanted to be, okay? Because we all knew last episode you were fronting like you were big man. Oh, if I had a shot in me. Yeah, nothing. Relax. Maurice walked in there and he was nothing but, oh, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? Like, to me, Tiffany and her husband are so corny to me. Like, they're just so corny. I don't know let me know. Put it in the chat box. What do you think about Tiffany and her husband? I think that they are just really, really corny to me. And as much as I held Tiffany to the fire when she brought the whole monster vaping and the cold tea about Destiny's husband being unfaithful to the show, I went back and watched this episode, and I have to say, in the kitchen, right, when they're all talking and then it gets hyped about how like Maurice was in a really bad marriage and all this stuff, and then Tiffany goes, and then Kimmy came and stole him away. The first time I watched it, I thought, why is Tiffany being a shit stirrer again? Like, why is she saying this crazy left field stuff, right? But then when I went back and watched it, I actually don't think she meant it that way. I think she was actually trying to like be a part of the conversation, and she was kind of awkward, like, oh, and like Kimmy came and stole him away. So usually I would have crucified her for something like that. We all know that. But I actually don't think that in that moment she was trying to be messy. And then even later on, she tried to clean it up and it was just like, oh, you corrected me, blah, 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 blah. I think she opened a can of worms that later on was hella funny when Kimmy said to put Marceau straight in his place. She was like, oh, you think it's funny as a side baby? Yeah, you might not be laughing. You might be laughing, but I don't see Kimmy or Tisha laughing. And that just shut down the whole conversation. I was like, yes, Kimmy, this is why I ride for you. This is why you're MVP. Marceau literally is the last person that needs to be talking about side chicks or anything like that. Word on the street on him, allegedly. But yeah, I just think that Tiffany and her husband are just really, really corny. Like, don't have this fake smoke in your confessional or when your wife is on a lawnmower, but then when you get in the room, it's, oh, hey, man. You know what I mean? So they're just super, super, super corny to me. I really liked Destiny and Mel coming together. I want their friendship to get back on track, right? I want the friendship to get back on track. I like Destiny and Mel together, so I like them coming together. I like them having good kiki. I like that Destiny still has a smoke for Tiffany. She's like, I don't want to do anything with her. I don't want to be coupled up with her. Like, I feel you, Destiny. I feel you. Like, you don't come to my birthday brunch when I just popped out a baby and went through a whole divorce talking about another woman you saw my ex-husband with. Where do you do that at? No, Tiffany, you're still on timeout for that. You're still on timeout for that. So let's see what else is going on. Marceau was right about not letting Wanda meddle in their relationship. So I thought that was good. I'd like so Tisha like apologized, but I was on Marceau's side because he was like, well, if that question was coming from you, sure, I would answer it. But that question was coming from your mother. Again, Wanda, Marceau is not your man. He's not your husband. You actually have no right to question him. That is Tisha's husband, and she is the only one who has a right to question him because she is the only one who is married to him. Wanda, you're just a mess all around. And Kimmy called it. She was like, this is gaslighting. Wanda goes to you, spins you a story and a narrative. You take it as if it's the God's gospel, and then now you're fighting everybody. You're fighting your husband. You're fighting Kimmy. You're fighting everybody in all of these battles when it was really just Miss Wanda who poisoned your mind against it, right? So that's what was going on there. But what else is up? Okay, so Tiffany again. I think she opened the can of worms, but she didn't mean to. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm looking forward to see how does the rest of that pool conversation play out. I'm also looking forward to see what happens between Martell, who really is like a friend of the show this season, like literally a friend of the show. I want to see what the fight happens between him and Melody, because it almost like he was trying to break free to go after her. I really hope that wasn't the case, but I want to see what happens in that fight. Like what happens like to get it to that level. I also need Tisha to stop acting like she doesn't know that her mother is a meddler and a liar. Like on this episode when she was like, oh, why would my mom just lie to me? Tisha, we all know your mom is a liar. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody's mother. So I'm not disrespecting Wanda as a mother or anything like that. I'm just observing what she does on the show. And as an observer on the show, Miss Wanda, the person, has been caught in multiple messy lies. So yeah, so as Sip with D says, exactly, Tisha needs to take accountability. Exactly, Sip with D, she really does. She doesn't take any accountability for herself. And I don't think she needs to take accountability for what her mother does, because those are her mother's actions. But she needs to take accountability for taking her mother's word as gospel, knowing her mother doesn't have the best track record. Point blank, period. So you're exactly right. Tisha does need to take accountability for herself and for allowing her mother to meddle. Because the truth is, if Tisha had healthy boundaries in place with her mother and within her marriage, Wanda would not be allowed to meddle in it. You know what I mean? Like if Tisha had boundaries, like you can't come to me about my husband like this. You can't talk to my husband this way. You can't talk to my friends this way, X, Y, and Z. If she had boundaries, this would not be happening. Pace up with D, but know who her mother is at least by now. Like, come on. That's what I'm saying. She knows who her mother is, and she chooses to live in denial. And that is what is so infuriating about Tisha. Last episode, Tisha, I thought you were getting some type of backbone, some type of clarity. Like, you can't pick and choose when you want to know who your mother is. You were very clear in who your mother was when it came to Marceau on your porch. But now all of a sudden you want to be like, Kimmy, why would my mom lie? My mom said, you said this, like acting like a child. And it's really weird when adult people are like, mommy, my mommy said this. You said this to my mommy. My mommy, my mommy, my mommy. It's like, what? It's really, really weird when adults have that weird relationship with their parents. Like, she sounds like a little kid. Well, you said this to my mommy, and my mommy said you said this about her, and my mommy said blah, 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 blah. It's out of control. It's out of control. Hey, Denise Crumble, she says her mother is ridiculous. Her mother is ridiculous. And Tisha is nothing but a product of her mother. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Oh, there was a couple other things I want to talk about with you guys when it comes to this. Let's see here. So I do think that the place in Vegas was gorgeous. I thought that was a really nice place. I thought the place in Vegas was gorgeous. The threesomes and the Vegas rules. Did you guys notice who had asked? Was it Martell or someone asked? And they said when Kimmy and Marceau were talking about threesomes, and they're like, "Oh, have you guys ever had a threesome? Are you speaking from experience?" Oh, Miss T, you're right on time. It's all good. You are not late. You're right on time, Miss T. Thank you. We're just having a fun catch up. What do you call it? Yeah. So then when you had Kimmy and Marceau talking about threesomes, and Martell or whoever it was like, "Oh, you're talking from experience?" And Kimmy said no, and Marceau said yes. I'm sorry. Kimmy had it down. She was like, it can't be planned. You have to not be home. If everybody's drunk, it's like you had the blueprint. You had the blueprint. Like, I definitely think they've had some threesomes. I think they've definitely have thrown down and been together. So yes. Yay. Sip with D says, yes, it was. It was amazing. It was gorgeous. I was like, where is this place? I want to go there. Sip with D says, Tisha asked, I think. Tisha asked? Oh, no. Sorry, I meant when Tisha and Marceau was talking about the threesomes, about the rules. And then I think it was Martell or Maurice, he was like, "Oh, are you talking from experience?" That's who I was talking about. Sorry. I think I said Kimmy, but I meant Tisha. Hey, Miss T, Tiffany mentioned that rumors. I know. Threesome rumors, side chick rumors, everything. And I understood why Kimmy was so pissed off. Yeah. Oh, Sipwitty says, "Oh no, you're right. It was Maurice that asked." Yeah, it was Maurice. It was all good, sweetheart. All good. Thank you for clarifying that I meant Tisha when I said Kimmy. Thank you, Sipwitty. But I totally understood why Kimmy was pissed. Like, stop. Like, this is my husband now. Full stop. Period. And B, if she wasn't the side chick, that's a very disrespectful thing to say continuously and have a rumor be about you saying that you were the side chick to this married man. So I understand why Kimmy is pissed, especially when it's coming from people who have such questionable behavior and questionable relationships themselves. Like Marceau, allegedly you have 20 girlfriends and you're out here getting vasectomies and side babies and X, Y, and Z. So who are you to talk about Kimmy and all this other stuff? Oh, hey guys, what's up? Hey, Young Rich, am I late? Hey, Queen, I'm ready to fly to Vegas because, woo, was Martell running up that? I know, that's what I said. I know it wasn't Melanie S. Holt. I just know it wasn't. I almost flew to the TV because who he running up on? No, Young Rich, you are right on time. We're just having a fun, casual, catch-up kiki. And yes, you were exactly right. I was talking about this earlier. I was just like, this was a good episode. We got some good nuggets in there. And I think it was a good build-up to next week. Because I want to know, who was Martell trying to run up on? You saw in his face the moment Melanie walked in the door, he was obsessed and drooling over her. And who did Martell think he was running up on? I know it wasn't a woman. I know it wasn't Miss Melody. I'm with you, Young Rich. I need to know. Like, I need to know what was going on. I agree with you. What the hell was that? Hello. Hey, Jody149. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Hey, Miss T. Kimmy keeps getting disrespected by this group of guys. Yes, they think they keep trying to mess with Kimmy. And it's like, leave Kimmy alone. Kimmy, to me, is the one who is the most, who should be the most untouchable, to be perfectly honest. She makes her own money. She's a very intelligent. She's no drama, but she's a good Kiki. Like I stand Kimmy. Like I really like Kimmy. And I think the thing is, I do think Marceau is sexually attracted to Melody. I'm not saying that he actually wants to do something, but I do think that there is a flirtation there. So he's a little bit softer with Melody. But I think that he looks more to Kimmy as like a bro, if that makes sense. It doesn't make it right, but I think that's kind of how it is. I think when it comes to Martell, I think it's the same thing. I think he kind of looks more at Kimmy like a bro, like she can hang. She's like one of us. And I think that Martell doesn't take Tisha seriously, and Marceau doesn't think and doesn't take Tisha seriously either. Hey, young rich, Martell wouldn't run up on no man. Woo, you're telling me. Yeah, I think it's Jody, Jody 149. I think it's Melody too. Like, did you see her face? She was like, she looked like, okay, this has gotten too far. Like, even she was just like, okay, I'm something might have popped off a little bit too much. Whatever happens, I hope they hold him back. I hope he catches his mind before he loses it. But yeah, that to me was just bizarre and just really not okay. Hey, Denise Crumble shows they are jealous of all of Kimmy's sexiness. Yes, Kimmy is great. Kimmy has got it going on. I love Kimmy. I love that she has great communication skills. I love that she raised a healthy young man. He doesn't seem to have any type of issues or anything like that. He's very much his own person. So I'm Team Kimmy all day. All day. Hey, Pam Cockroach says Team Kimmy. Me too. Hey, Cotty. She says, hey, hon. Hey, Cotty V. That's my girl. That's my homie. Hey, Cotty. Jody D says, whoa, I know. It's getting bad. Hey, Miss T. Tisha needs to stop with the mom stuff. I know. Mommy. You said this to my mommy. My mommy said this to you. It's sickening. And at this point, it's getting harder to watch. If that makes sense. It's getting really hard to watch at this point where it's too much. It's too much. Young Rich says, girl, the men of Huntsville just make me want to fight. They disrespect Kimmy and her kids, and the weak Maurice just let them bully his own kid, and I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of it too. Jalen is literally, to me, has displayed more maturity and manhood than the other 3 adult grown men have. Maurice doesn't seem to be able to figure out a schedule that is manageable. Marceau is always MIA. He's not at any of his businesses. I don't know what he does outside of Black, and he's never home. That's super questionable. Martell doesn't even have a license to build, but yet he's a contractor. So I'm confused on how that's supposed to work in his life. So yeah, Kimmy does great at real estate. She's a nurse. She had her own house. She has her own success. She's got it going on. They're just jealous. And Kimmy also doesn't let them run circles around her. Like, that's another thing. They know they can't get away with it with Kimmy. Miss T says, I like Tiffany's husband more than her. I think they're both corny. I think they are both so corny. What happened to my camera lighting? Is that better? I don't know. I think that they both are so corny to me. Both of them. Like, I used to really just think Tiffany was just like mean-spirited and annoying. Now I think she's awkward and mean-spirited and annoying. I don't like either of them. They both just seem like cottage cheese. I don't know. Hey, Jody149. I think she made some comment that ticked him off. What do you think of the new couple? Again, I I think Lois, whatever his name is, Lewis, I think it is, he had all that smoke, fake smoke, when Tiffany was on that lawnmower. But then when Maurice really rolled up in his establishment, where was the smoke, Lois? Where was the smoke? Oh, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? Oh, hey, man, what's up? I thought, oh, if I had a shot in me, if I had some liquor, oh, it would have been different. I don't want to hear about this again. Nobody died. It wasn't that serious. Hoodda. Boy, bye and shut up. You had no smoke. You had no smoke when he rolled up in there. A black girl's getting their shift together. Yes, says Team Kimmy. Me too. Me too. Hey, Miss T, Kimmy should have dragged Miss Wanda with her word skills. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. Kimmy did. Like, and that's what Kimmy said. She's like, I may have made her feel some type of way, but that's on her. Kimmy really shut Miss Wanda up when she looked at her and she was just like, where are the receipts? What are you talking about? Until you're able to actually articulate what you're talking about with a concrete example, basically what Kimmy was saying, shut up and keep my name out of your mouth. And I loved Kimmy. She shot Miss Wanda was like, well, I don't know, stuff online, on social media, on the TV. Miss Wanda, what are you talking about? And that's why Kimmy was just like, what are you talking about? Give me an example. Miss Wanda could not think of one. She could not think of a single example. And that's what shut Miss Wanda up. And I was just Team Kimmy the whole time. Because she was like, you want to do this? Do this. You feeling froggy? Jump. What are you talking about? Miss Wanda was just mad at Kimmy to be mad at her. Because Kimmy wasn't just blindly agreeing to Tisha's lies. Hey, Alex, Jalen's my favorite man. I love him. Married to Huntsville. I can't stand the rest of them. Samesies. I love Jalen. Black girls getting their shift together, says Tisha is emotionally immature. She's codependent. She is. Her mother is narcissistic and Tisha is empathic. And so they are very, very codependent. And the sense of Tisha feels, it's exactly what Tisha even said herself. She was like, her mother thinks that her hurt and her fights are hers. And then Tisha does the same. She thinks that her mother's fights and hurt are hers. They're just so enmeshed together. And that's why Wanda thinks Maurice is her husband. In Mrs. Wanda mind, she really thinks Maurice is her man. She really does. Like, that's why she acts like that. She really thinks that's her man. I'm not talking about sex or anything like that. I'm talking about mental maturity and the way that stuff works. In her mind, on some subconscious level, she really thinks Marcel is her man. And she really thinks she has the right to check him and to come at him and to question him and all this stuff. Like, this is so inappropriate. Like, imagine anybody else doing that to somebody's husband. It's bizarre and just weird. Ms. T says, Jalen can speak just like his mom. Exactly. Glad he stands up for himself respectfully. I agree. I don't agree. I think Tisha and Marceau were lying. I don't think Jalen was being smart at all. I think he was probably being calm and direct and holding them accountable, and they didn't like it. And so it was easier for them to say Jalen was being smart than for them to say, we haven't been showing up to our job. We haven't been showing up on Black. We put too much on Jalen. We're manipulating him and we're exploiting him because he's family and because he's a kind person, and we're getting over on him. Because they're not paying him enough. They came up with this BS like, well, you work and you can get a stake in the company. People usually say you'll get a stake in the company because they don't want to pay you as much. It's like a way to manipulate someone. Like, well, you get a stake in the company. That's why you're not getting paid as much. I think that they are exploiting him and really using him. Because I know if I had a restaurant and it was a big holiday week and my cook quit and my staff quit, I would be there, sleeves rolled up, ready to work. I wouldn't be like, Jalen will figure it out. Hey, to Wanda McMath. She goes, I don't like the big hip couple either. My candy canes. Y'all are a mess. I love y'all. I don't like them either. They're corny. Jody went for as Destiny is very secretive. Can't figure her out. I agree. I think I think with Destiny, I think she doesn't trust Melody as much as she used to. I think she probably felt that Melody sort of left her to the wayside to fend for herself when her and Kimmy were beefing. Because you notice how she said, there we go. Because you notice how she said, oh, why didn't you have my back when Kimmy and I weren't getting along as much as you have Tiffany's back now? So I think that Destiny kind of lost that connection to Melody, and that's why she didn't tell Melody about the divorce and like all of that stuff. And then I also think that Destiny probably, I think something with her divorce and her husband, just Destiny to me seems very, how do I say it, like not sore, tender, burnable. Like I think she's secretive because there's something that went down with her husband that is really bad. Like I think it's more than just cheating. Like I think something really, really bad happened. If that makes sense. And I think that Destiny is still in the healing process of that. And I don't think Destiny wants it to make the show. But I think something really, really bad happened with her husband. Like I can't put my finger on it. And I don't think it was, not that cheating isn't bad, but I think it was something more than just cheating. Like something really bad happened. That's kind of how I feel. Young Witch says Tiffany is very awkward. She reminds me of the megachurch member, like she don't fit the reality TV spectrum, but I like to see it anyways. I agree. She is very awkward. And that's why I was saying, like, usually I will throw Tiffany all the way over, but I do think that when she made the comment on this week's episode, oh, and then Kimmy came and stole him away, I do think that was her awkward way of trying to fit in. She was trying to make a joke. I don't think she knew it was such a pressure point. I don't think she really was trying to call her a side chick. Maybe I'm just giving her too much of a benefit of the doubt. Let me know what you guys think. Miss D says Lewis or Lois. I don't know what his name is. Is it Lois? Hey Lois, how you doing, Lois? Demanding Mass is hashtag Team Kimmy. Me too. Me too. Can I get a witness? What is up? He says, hey, Candy, watching the Candy Canes. I thought I wished a recap or missed a recap. Hey, Sipwood D, what is up? Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, I'm
What
eating
is
right now, but
up?
hey, first of all, you look so beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I am eating, but I just wanted to chime in. The chat
Yeah.
had me going crazy, but they're speaking a lot of, they're speaking so many truths. It's amazing, honestly. I
Yeah.
think this episode, I thought it was going to be a bore, but I actually think they did pretty good with this episode. And I also want to say I agree with you. I love how Maurice stood up there for Kimmy and
Me
he
too.
had her back. And I was so, so proud of Kimmy for saying to her, is it as funny as a side baby? Like, is it that funny? And to be quiet as it kept, Tisha's face was very mute. Like she had nothing to say. She was not happy about that at all. And that's
Yeah.
what kind of like irritated me with Tisha because she stood up to her mom the last episode, when it came to her man, but I guess she feels as though, well, that's my man. I gotta go home to him. I gotta deal with that. Like, no, you need to stand up for yourself all the way around because your mom came to that party starting with everyone and anyone she could. And then after she got everyone riled up, she said, okay, I did what I had to do. I'm gone. Bye, bye, bye. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Your mom is a starter and
Yep.
she's going to come and start some stuff, so you need to hold her accountable as well, not just with your man, because I think she held him accountable with her man because she felt like she knew she was wrong. Like, even Marcel's like, what are you doing? Why is your hand on, like, wait, back up, like, what are you doing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't do this, you know better. So it's just weird. Like, to me, if I think they love each other, but to me, if he leaves her for her mom, I mean, not like leaves her for her mom, but if he feels like
Because
not
of the
like
mom.
that, but like
Yeah.
yeah, because of the
Because the
mom,
mom.
and
Yeah.
just said, imagine that if he said, like, I just can't take it anymore. You're not standing up, you're not doing what you like, then what? You know what I mean? Or if she
Mm-hmm.
loses all her friends, everything. She never had Kimmy's back when it came to Kiowa. And then she's
Nope.
expecting so much loyalty, but yeah, you have your sister, your brother, everyone. This like it's just I'm tired of it. I think she's using this as a maybe a storyline thing, and
Mhm.
just people doing it because you got to see by now. If we all can see and we're not close and we don't talk to Miss Wanda, you know what I mean? Like you do, that's your mom. Like you must be doing a full storyline. That's what I think. And I also think, because to me it was kind of funny how Maurice came in and was like, I just want to check in and see how everything went. With I cannot get his name, Big Hips. That's all I'm gonna say. And then he said, I want to come in and check in with him and see how's everything going after the conversation. I think maybe producers probably slipped that in and said, he's not feeling too good about that conversation. He said, things would have went differently. I think producers slipped that in because for him to say that last episode and then he just comes in and say, hey, I'm going to check in and see.
Mhm.
I think they were trying to play that one around and see how they were going to take, but they were all everything's good. Tell Kimmy we said hi. We love
Yup.
you guys. We're gonna make
No
drinks for you
smoke.
guys.
No smoke.
No smoke. I'm like, I hope they don't come back next season. I'm sorry. They don't
Same.
deserve a spot. They don't, at first I was hoping for her because she did have the little drama going on, but really it was unnecessary. And
Mhm.
when she did it about the kids, I didn't respect that at all. Like as a woman, as a mom, I couldn't believe that. That right there, I no, she don't need to come back at all. So, and the whole side chick thing is just it's not even a joke anymore. It's not a running joke. At this point, she's married to this man. They're happy. I honestly think Maurice maybe needs to stand in and put his foot down completely when it comes to that. Because
I
that
agree.
conversation went on way too long. And you know what I mean? Like he needs to show that he really has her back. Like, let's shut this down completely
And
in front
she
of
was the only
everyone.
person defending herself. He never stepped in
Yeah.
to defend her.
Yep. And that's the
Mhm.
part I'm like, come on, Maurice, come on,
Yeah.
come on. You already not, she already don't have a honeymoon. Like, come on, Maurice, you gotta do something. Like, step in, shut your brothers down, shut
I
this whole
forgot about
conversation
the
going on.
honeymoon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she didn't. Hopefully she got it by now. But
Is
shut this
Jamal
whole thing
coming? Of
down.
course not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course
Jamal,
not.
but he will be in the phone. He will be
He'll be
in
in
the
the phone.
phone. We
He'll
know
be in
that
the
for
phone.
sure. Yes, he'll
He'll
be
be in
in
the
the
phone.
phone. But I just think it's just he needs to shut that down. He needs to be there for his wife. I mean, this is who you go home with. This is who you lay with. This is you need to shut that down. So your brother can
Mhm.
know this is not planned. You know what I mean? Because she could say, listen, this is too much for me to bear. Like I can't deal with this. And I
Yep.
think Jalen, he's one of my favorites. He's doing his job. He posts about Black all the time on in his socials because I follow them all. He posts about Black. He's doing the work. He should not be in the kitchen. He's not a chef. That's not his job. And I definitely agree with everyone. They're just treating him like that because they know they can underpay him.
Yep.
But what I'm hoping he gets exposure from this position, and I'm hoping that it can, he learns a lot, and he also can take his talent somewhere else. Like take whatever you learn from them because another company is going to grab you and see what you have to offer and possibly pay you what you're worth at least. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Instead of blackballing you because they in the family and this, that, and the third. No, you're not even treating him like family. You're not even treating him as a fair worker. Like, and then for them to sit up there and put confession and say, "Yeah, teacher, you were right from the get go. I should have brought someone in more trained." What?
No.
What if that was the case?
Please.
You're still not doing it. Where's time is ticking? What's going on? Because he's still in it, and it got to be something. If everyone gets up and quits on you, something's going on the same
Yep.
day. Something's
Yep.
going on. You're
Something's
underpaying
going
these
on.
people. Yep. So I'm ready to see what's going to happen next episode. I really am, but
I want to see
this is going to
why
get long.
Martell is popping off. But you know what I was thinking? I think when it comes to Kimmy, I'm not Kimmy. I'm sorry, Tisha. I think Tisha pretends like what her mom says is the truth when it comes to Kimmy, because low key Tisha still has a bone to pick with Kimmy. So she's
Yeah.
using her mother as an excuse and as a way to come after Kimmy because she still has a bone to pick. She still thinks Kimmy took Mel's side. She still thinks
Yep.
Kimmy wasn't writing for her. So I think that she can't come out and say to herself or to everybody, I'm still holding a grudge, but I'm going to
Yep.
come at you under the guise of my mom. But then when it comes
Yep.
to Marceau, the reason why she was all puffed up big woman and could step back to her mom was because she did wanting to save face. She didn't want it out there
Mhm.
that Marceau
Yep.
maybe sent the champagne to Melody or
Mhm.
that he was like
On the
cheating or
side,
had side
Yep.
babies. So she
Mhm.
was very clear about her mom making up stuff and lying and telling stories when it served her. But
Right.
all
But
of a
it's like
sudden,
unleash the dog on everyone
but
else.
all of a sudden she had amnesia and she couldn't. How could her mother ever lie to her when it came to Kimmy?
Right.
Because she
Like
wanted
she's
to
lied
go.
about multiple things.
She wanted to go after Kimmy, and she used her mom
Absolutely.
as a scapegoat.
Yep. She, you know who she reminds me of in that sense? Because I call it very immature. She reminds me of Candace. Just be
Yes.
honest.
Yep.
Be honest and say, hey, I don't like you, Ashley. Because I always say she just doesn't like Ashley because Ashley wrote that statement. Before Ashley told her she wrote that statement, they were on a road to becoming friends. They were
Yep.
on a road. And then as soon as she said, I wrote that statement, she said, it's done. So
Hmm.
be honest and say, I don't like you because of that statement. It's still rubbing me wrong. Don't lie and say, oh, isn't she just had a baby? Isn't she this? I can't invite her for this. Oh, this. No, keep it real. Same thing with Tisha. Keep it real. Say,
Keep
listen,
it
I
real.
felt that you played the middle. That to me is immature. If you felt like if someone's not on your side, then they're not there. If they don't 100% agree with you, then they're against you. That's not what that is. She was in the middle, 50-50, both women, Kimmy and Karen and everyone else. Like, so yeah, it's just a mess.
100%.
It's just a mess.
And their
But it's
relation
immaturity.
very immature, and their relationship to their mother is very very similar. With
Very similar.
Candace's mother, I forget what her name is, but Candace's mother treats Candace very much the same way Wanda treats Tisha, as an extension of themselves. And
Oh yeah.
and both of them are very mommy, 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 mommy girls.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
also think about how Candace's mom is so disrespectful to Chris. So
Yes. Yes.
disrespectful to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is using you for the money. And then how we saw in the preview, she's like, oh, I didn't know he was going to quit his job the moment they got married and become a house
Yeah.
husband and all this stuff. Like, she thinks it's the same mentality. Who do you
Yep.
think you are to talk about your daughter's husband like this? It's the same exact
It's so
mentality.
disrespectful.
So disrespectful. It's like, he's not married to you. He's not your man. Stay out. Like, it's not your business for you to come at
But
them
they
like
are okay
this.
with that. Like I feel like Candace and Kimmy, they're okay with that, and they use that as a way to unleash if they're upset. Like my thing,
Yep.
like she should never even come in these type of conversations. Like I was so proud of Marceau for like I'm not answering it. If you're really asking me this question, fine, but not for her. No,
Mm-hmm.
not for her. Not even in front of her. Not even this week. Not even today. Not even no. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about this months later, so I know it's not even stemming from this conversation because that's completely toxic. First of all, but I even feel as
Very
though,
toxic.
even with both moms, I feel like no matter who Kimmy marries, even if it wasn't Marceau, and the same thing, no matter who Candace marries, their mom
Mm-hmm.
would be the same. It can be if Candace
100%.
marries a rich man, it didn't matter. Their
Didn't
mom would
matter.
be exactly the same to each man. Yeah, he might be a rich man, but is he home? Is he this? Is he that? It didn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It's just they want that control and they
Mm-hmm.
will live vicariously through their daughters, and then she
Yep.
will let her live through so she can speak what she can't speak verbally herself. Just grow up and keep it real. Life, you'd probably be a lot more happier, honestly.
Exactly. And Candace and Tisha, both of them, they don't, for as educated as they are, neither of them are really doing anything in their fields that way. And also neither of them really
Yeah,
have a mind of their own when it comes to their mother. It's really
it's
bizarre
weird.
and it's really sad to watch. Like, they really
Yeah.
just are not their own person. They're basically their
I have
mother's
a
little
little hope for
puppets.
Kimmy. Just a little hope for Kimmy. Maybe not so much for
You mean
Candace because
Tisha? You
she's
mean
just,
Tisha?
I mean, yeah, Tisha, yes,
I
yes.
do it
I
too.
have a
I do it
little
too.
hope. I know.
I do
I
it
have
too
a,
all
like
the
a
time.
little hope for her. Yeah, but not for, I feel like Candace is going to take a long time. Her mom's going to probably have to hit her with the purse like maybe 20 more times for her to really see, like, and maybe have to really be on camera this time. I don't know. But for Tisha, I see just a little bit, because it's gonna have to be forced on her with the kids and everything. It's a
Hmm.
little different. And Candace, she's still kind of living in immature la la land. Everything's great, whatever, whatever. Because the way she treated him, I know that's a whole nother thing, but the way she treated him
Was
that
crazy.
episode,
Was crazy.
super crazy. I could not believe her. I was like literally
Super
getting mad at
crazy.
her.
I was just like,
I'm like,
you.
this is your husband.
I was like, she must not be wanting to be married for much longer because there's only so much disrespect and
A man can
dismissiveness
take
a
exactly.
man can
Hmm.
take and being emasculated for
Yep.
so long. Like, before he
And on
checks
TV
out
like that,
and on
embarrassed. Yep.
television, embarrassed, and the whole thing. That's the whole reason why he scheduled some cooking class at the same day as the music video. It was to spite her.
Exactly.
If she had
Yep.
not done that, if she had actually been appreciative and actually had her man's back, I think he would have shown up with bells on, because clearly he
Exactly.
loves
And
her and clearly he's trying to support her. And we are in a pandemic. And his
Yeah,
whole
like he's
livelihood
doing the
was
best he
gone. He's doing
can.
the best he
Yeah.
can. And like, what about his
I
mental
couldn't
health?
believe her. When
Day
he showed
drinking.
up and she says like, "Oh, he still has an apron on." I'm like, "Girl, you lucky. Do you
He's a
want him to go
freaking
home and freshen
chef.
up and
What
be?"
do you think he's supposed to be wearing? Clearly,
I
he
was
left
like,
whatever class he
"Girl."
was doing to come help you out.
And honestly, he's a great cook. I've seen him cook like through Instagram and
Ooh.
everything like that. He actually has some great corners and he has some like great little things that he puts together. And I actually want to try one of them. You know, he does a great job. And like, girl, she needs to get it together because that cooking, if he really puts his all into it, I believe he can go far.
Yeah.
And you know, she might need to really hire a real manager to do all that work, not for free.
Well, apparently her little like music contract she had with that guy fell through. So who
Was there
knows if
ever a contract?
you think it was just for the show?
Um,
You think it was just for the
I
show?
I think so. I don't, you know, I believe she can sing and I believe someone can get behind her and make it
Hmm.
even better, but I don't know. It could be just for the show because how was it just last season? You had this contract and then this season you don't, even though that season was filmed, you know, some time ago, but it's like, mm, what
Hmm.
happened? At least talk about it. At least something had to happen because you're not talking about it. So
Yeah,
something,
something.
you know.
So
And I'm
Young
pretty
Rich,
sure they didn't mind.
no, no, they want this publicity. So Young Rich says
Yeah.
that Tisha is way too dingy to go beside her mom. Candace is more likely to do it because she got bopped upside the head with her purse.
That's what I'm saying. I believe that too.
Yeah, but Chris talks to Candace crazy as well. They talk to each other crazy. Yeah,
I
I,
agree.
I agree. They
But I
both
think
talk.
I think it stems down. I honestly think it stems down from her mom talks to her kind of crazy, and then she
Yep.
has no. I mean, she doesn't know any better. And then what is he going to do? Sit there and take it all the time? Honestly, though, I mean, I believe they do talk to each other crazy, but
Mhm.
she can do a lot better. She can, you know. And I honestly think he won't be as crazy. But you know, I'm not going to put all the blame on her.
Yeah,
You know, because Candace has some good points sometimes, but
she
you
does.
know, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just toxic if you ask me.
It's very toxic, but and they're also two separate things. So yes, Chris and Candace talk to each other crazy, very toxic, very unhealthy communication, right? That's one thing. But I think what we're talking about at the core of it is that particular moment when Candace went to Chris carrying Giselle's bone, saying that she said you are riding my coattails, and she did not have his back, and she basically left him out there to dry to defend himself.
Yep.
That I think is really the core and the crux of what's going on. I think they talk
Yep.
crazy to each other all the time. That yeah, I agree with that. But I don't think that them talking crazy to each other, even though it's toxic and unhealthy, I don't think
Yeah.
that's really the demise of their marriage. I think it was the
Yeah.
emasculation when it came to that.
Absolutely. Because he has her
Mm-hmm.
back. Like when you think about when he gets on social media, he drags people. He
Oh,
says a
thank
lot
you,
of things to
Cardi
have
B.
her back.
Yes, I'm showing some love
Yes,
to
guys,
Cotton.
hit that like button. Hit that
Hit
like
that like
button.
button. Get those likes up, baby. Thank you, Cotty. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. So Gen X says once an adult man allows his wife's mother to pay his way bills, he did it to himself. He lived in his in-laws' house for years before COVID. Yeah, but that's another thing.
I agree, but
That's a
yeah,
really great point, Jen. But I think it works both ways. So, yes, he allowed it to happen. He did it himself, but Candace also knows who she married.
yeah.
So she
I
can't
think if
now.
they decided,
Oh,
go
yeah, I was
ahead.
going to say, she can't now expect him to be different. You know who you married. So
Yeah,
don't marry someone expecting them to change up after you get married. You need to marry the person,
absolutely.
So she knew who she married. And then Chris, you're right. On some level, he did do it to himself, but I think that you can still not have someone emasculate you to
Yeah, like that.
it like
Even if you're
that. You
in
know what I
that,
mean? Even if you're in
yeah,
that
even if
situation,
you're
there's a
in that
respect level.
position, yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
make him feel like that, even if he, and I honestly think that if Chris had a better home than what, you know, her in-laws, I mean, what her mom, Dorothy, I think Dorothy is her name,
Dorothy,
what her mom
Dorothy.
had, yeah, then they would have lived there. So I think maybe Candace was like, I don't want to, just to say, if it was like a small apartment, I don't want to live in your little apartment. just to say if it's like that. I mean, I'm just saying, so I think she's probably like, well, let's just stay with our mom. Let's stay with my mom, and it's a better home, it's a bigger town home, or whatever the case may be. Because if he had a better home than the one that Dorothy was providing for them, they would have stayed there.
Yep. And also, aren't they trying to say that they bought their house on their own? They're trying to say Dorothy didn't help. That's what they're
Yeah,
trying to
and then Dorothy
say,
at the reunion said, "Yeah, right."
basically.
That's what she said at the reunion last year. She was like, "Yeah, right."
Yep. So can I get witnesses at Young Rich? Neither of these two women are likely to disrespect their mom, regardless of their dysfunctional relationships. But that's the thing. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's the whole
Saying
point.
saying that creating boundaries with your parents, saying no, having healthy standards, calling that disrespect is what is actually dysfunctional. Because having boundaries with your parents is healthy. Saying no, making your nuclear family your priority is what is healthy, and that's not disrespect. So
It's not.
like that's the problem. They think in their minds, having their own voice, you know, making their marriage their first priority, having boundaries with their parents. If they think that is disrespect, that is the actual dysfunction. Because
Yeah,
a functional family, a healthy family, they have
you're able to say
boundaries.
no. You can
You're able to
say,
say no.
you
You
can
can
do
set
that.
standards. You have expectations. People understand where their place is. And it's not a mother's place to check someone's husband like that. It's just not.
Absolutely.
And it's
There
not
needs to
the
be a line
child's
drawn.
place to fight the parents' battles over and over and over again. So that's the whole problem, is that thinking that what is actually healthy behavior, calling that disrespect, is the problem. And that's what's so unhealthy.
I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Miss
I'm
T.
gonna drop down. I'll see you in the
Okay.
chat. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Bye.
Good to see you.
You too.
Bye. Miss T says he has passed away, so it won't be with him. Who passed away? I'm so sorry. I don't know who passed away. Oh, sorry. Can I go? It says Candace seems to be able to hold specific notes. Not sure how melodic she is. I agree. Miss D says it's definitely parenting. Chris also gives and to shut her up at times, but Candace is playing an adult. I agree. He definitely just placates to her to get her to stop crying and to shut up. Hey, young rich. Candace is constantly disrespecting her mom at Can I Get a Witness? And also, you see in that episode with her sister, they all have a mouth on them. They do. They do. They all have a mouth on them. That is very true. And that's why Candace got bopped with the purse. Hey, to Wanda McMash was Candace is very immature. She is. She is extremely immature. It's like talking to like a little kid almost. Like you can't be her friend. Oh, thank you so much, Gen X. Thank you so much for the super chat, sweetheart. She goes, this is what happens when you get married for a spot on reality TV. Ciao, LOL. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And it's true. And it's this is what happens. Because you're right. Chris was this way. So he signed up for this. But you're also right. Candace also signed up for Chris. They both know who they married. And that was the choice they made. Like you can't marry someone and then expect them to like miraculously become the person that you want them to be. You have to marry people for who they are. It's like they say don't date for potential, right? Where did the kids go? It was a PR op. I don't even, were those even his kids? No, I'm kidding. I'm not talking about my base children, but yeah, I take that back. I feel bad, but yeah, it was like a PR stunt. It was really just like a PR stunt. It was insane. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Jeanette says absolutely, exactly. Oh wait, what are you guys saying? Young Ray says, hold on, Miss Dorothy's married. Yes, Miss Dorothy's married. Remember? Okay, so Candace is Candace's sister is her half sister. Candace is the product of her mom and her father's, and that was her mom's first marriage. Because remember, Candace's mom Dorothy was dating Candace's mom, and this is before they were married, I believe. And he had an affair, or maybe I think maybe they were like in college. It was something like, "Come on, girl, like you're in college," and he slept with somebody else, and he got that woman pregnant. And Candace has an older brother. So remember when Candace was getting married to Chris, it was all that drama about, can she invite her dad? Can she invite her brother and all that stuff? Candace's little sister is her half sister from Mrs. Dorothy's second marriage. And then Candace has a half older brother from before Dorothy married her dad. Remember? Yep. Can I get when I say young rich? Not sure, but there are many people who try to live vicariously through their children. Exactly. Since they cannot relive their mistakes, they seem to try to address unresolved issues. Yeah, a lot of people try and live through their children, whether it's like, I want you to be a star because I was never a star, or I want you to do this because I was never able to do it. And then also when just narcissistic mothers and their children, they just feel like they don't see their child as an individual person. They see their child as just an extension of themselves. So it's just like they were saying, they think that what happens to their child is happening to them, and what happens to them is happening to their child. That's why they think they have to fight each other's battles, because they think it's happening to them. That's why they think they have the right to step to somebody's husband, because in their mind, that's my husband. Not sexual, but you know what I mean? But yeah, Miss Dorothy is married. Candace's sister is her half sister, and her brother is her half brother. And that's why Miss Dorothy has been so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about the dad and the brother. Yep. Miss Sipwee D says, yes, she's married. Yep. Can I go? And it says, right. Yep. Exactly. It was just way too much. Right. And she's married him after that affair. Exactly. And it goes again. You knew who you married. So you can't complain now. There are people who get duped. There are people who genuinely get duped, where there is someone who is able to have a persona, have a mask on, and they dupe you into thinking that, and then they change up. Yes, 100% that happens. But at the same time, there's a lot of people where it's like, you know who someone is and you choose to marry them anyway, like Giselle and Pastor Holy Whore. Mystique says, I see Giselle trying to live through her girls. Exactly. I see it too. I see it too. Same exact dynamic. When she was like, oh, are you going to be concerned about me when you're in college? No, Giselle, I'm not going to be concerned about you when I'm in college. I'm going to be concerned about getting good grades and kissing cute boys and going on trips and living my best life. Like, no, I'm not going to be concerned about you, Giselle. I'm going to be having fun in college. Remember she said that to the girls? M Love Black always says, I remember that. Candace's mother was foul for that. She was. She still stayed with him but ignored the child. Exactly. And that's why she didn't even want Candace to have a relationship with her own brother. She was that dirty and nasty. Yup. Miss T says Miss Wanda is also married. Miss Wanda has two men. Miss Wanda has a boyfriend and a husband. So if she is with that type of polyamorous life, why does she care about Marceau's alleged 25 girlfriends or 20 girlfriends? If she's allowed to have a boyfriend and a husband, does she really have a leg to stand on? It's crazy. Young Ray says, I remember the way Candace's mom treated her brother. It was simply terrible. Yeah. Acted like that boy did not exist. That is so disgusting. Hey, beautiful Jen. She goes, what, Miss T? Yeah. Miss Wanda is married with a boyfriend. Make that make sense. Hey, black girls getting their shift on. A boyfriend and a husband and a boyfriend. Yup, exactly. Exactly. She has a husband and a boyfriend trying to go up in Marceau's face like she has any audacity, talking about monogamy. Miss T says, did Kenya get played by Mark or by her want for a baby? I think Kenya really just wants love. I think her mother wound is so deep with everything that happened. I think Kenya just really wants love. I think at least from what we saw, unless she was really, really acting, I do think she really loved Mark and she really wanted to make Mark happy. But at the same time, I don't know if since I didn't see them together before they got married and there's been not a lot of talk about it, I don't know if Mark is the type of person who changed up. It sounded like he changed up on her, but I think their romance was so quick that maybe she didn't give herself enough time to get to know him, to make sure that the representative was gone and she got to know him as a person. You know, you have to have that time of really getting to know someone. You have to know someone on their good days, on their bad days, on their mad days, on their sad days, what their agenda is for you, what their agenda is for themselves. It's very easy to fall in love with a fantasy. And I think that's kind of what Kenya did. I think she may have fallen in love with a fantasy. And then when she got home, she figured out it was actually a nightmare because he seems like hell. Mark seems like a nightmare. So I think she wanted a baby. I think she wanted love. And I think she fell in love with his representative and didn't give it enough time to actually know who she was marrying. I think sometimes you know who you're marrying and you marry them anyway. I think sometimes you get duped. You think you think you've done your diligence, but this person just is that good. Or you fall in love with the fantasy. You fall in love with the honeymoon period and you don't actually give your relationship enough time to mature and to really get to the root of a person. So you're just in this fantasy delusion. And I think that's more of Kenya. I think she kind of fell in love with the fantasy. She wanted to believe. She wanted it to be this. And then she got the okie doke when she got home. Because he sounds like a mess. Hey, Young Rich, which is why I hope Melody don't take out any vendetta over Grinder Man, Martell's fifth child. Young, not Grinder Man. Young, not Grinder Man. I can't with you. Hey, Sip with D, I think she's just pissed a baby came out of it and couldn't get over that. You mean Melody and Martell? Yeah, I agree. Can I get a witness? Is laughing. Hey, beautiful Jen. Loud. I'm doing something wrong. I know, right? Like, how does this Wanda? Are you talking about how Miss Wanda has a husband and a boyfriend? I know, me too. I'm like, can I get one of those? I'm confused. Miss Wanda has two. Hey, Ziputi, I really think production puts Miss Wanda in. I think so too. I think they wind her up and they put her in. But I think that even if that's the case, she's only amplifying who she actually is. Do you know what I mean? I think she really is who she is. I think she might placate and puff up a bit for the cameras, but I think that she's playing just a slightly bigger version than herself. I don't think she's playing a character that's not who she is. Can I get when it says that Alabama lifestyle is killing me? Yeah, she said she missed being a girlfriend on season 12. Hey, Seputi, I think Mark took advantage for sure. Yeah, I think so too. I think he knew that she was vulnerable and he played the role he needed to play and she fell for it. Hey, M Love Black Always. My mother didn't play that half sibling talk. Two of my siblings are technically half siblings. My mother told us, ain't no half, that's your sibling. Exactly. I never grew up being like, this is a half, this is a half. No, it's just your brother, it's your sister, it's whoever, right? Hey, Jen. Hey, beautiful Jen. She goes, can you hit the DNA lottery, but the paternal nightmare? She's so damaged. Yeah. Yeah, Mark is a beautiful man with his nose ring. But he just sounds like a complete nightmare. Hey, can I get a witness? Seems like Kenya wanted to be in the marriage and scene. I agree. She really went through too many men to get back and or stay on that show. Yelp, she seemed to be damaged, but I could be wrong. Yeah. I hate to call people damaged. Like I hate to call people broken, and I hate to call people damaged. I think what else could we say? What else could we call that? We could call that she seems To be in need of healing. I don't know. I'll think of a good word for it. But I know what you mean. And I know you're not saying it in a negative way. But just hearing it and saying it, calling somebody damaged, I just feel bad saying that. Like, I don't want to call a person damaged. You know what I mean? But I know what you mean, though. I know exactly what you mean. Like, she needs healing. She needs just healing. Denise Crumble says, the thing that Portia and Kenya share is falling for the fantasy. Boom. Exactly. Portia now is in a whole world of trouble. Shout out to my homie, Tisa Tales. She has always given us the lowdown on what Simon and Nobadia is doing and what he is up to. Just no good. And that was a complete fantasy sham. And she apparently is still down with it. And to me, I just don't understand that. I just don't get how she's still with it. Young Rich says, you don't remember that video of Martell being on Grindr. I saw a picture or a screenshot, but I thought it was photoshopped. I thought it was photoshopped. Hey, Miss T, Mel definitely knew longer than she now wants to admit. That is true. She definitely knew longer, and I think she may not have liked it, but she tolerated it. And I think the only reason why she actually left was because there was a baby. Hey, can I get a witness? At Jen. She goes, I'm thinking Kenya went through IVF, Mark's sperm and someone else's egg. So you don't think the baby is biologically Kenya's? Because if it's somebody's egg, that's not biologically her child. Oof. Sipui D at Denise Crumble. I disagree. Portia searching for wealthy men for a long time. LOL. See, I think that she's searching for a wealthy man, but she also falls in love with the fantasy. Like her first husband, what was his name? I forget his name. He was wealthy, and that was a fantasy, and she left that divorce with nothing. Dennis was a fantasy. Now he's saying all types of stuff. So, Hey, can I get a witness? Maybe Kenya and Mark had an arrangement. Maybe. I mean, it's a lot, y'all. Maybe. Hey, black girls getting their shift together says, I think Mel would still be with Martell if the baby mess wasn't on national TV. I agree with that. She's about that perfect image. I totally agree. Young Rich says scorn. Ooh, someone is scorned. Rather than damaged. Scorned rather than damaged to me. Scorn seems like you're bitter and you're pissed and you're angry and you're scorned. Damage to me means more like you're broken and there's something wrong with you, if that makes sense. Hey, Jen. She goes, I meant her, not the baby. LOL. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, but her childhood. Oh, got it. Yeah. No, Kenya is a beautiful woman. Can't nobody dispute that. She is a beautiful woman. But yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like. Because it's one thing to like not grow up with your parents, and it's another to have your mother ignore you in your presence. Can I get a witness? Is laughing at me, calling me shady. I mean, we have to have a kiki, right? We have to have a good kiki with it. Hey, Denise Crumble at Sip with D, the fantasy of a rich man who is the right guy. Yeah, exactly. It's still that fantasy. Can I go damaged without therapy? Yeah, like they need healing. They need Iyanla. They need therapy. They need Oprah. They need Deepak. Like they need healing. You know, Ms. T. Portia also has sibling issues with her mom. Yeah, she has sibling issues with her mom and her dad because remember, wasn't Portia's mom allegedly also kind of like on the side? Something would happen with that. And then Portia's dad left Portia and her mom to go create a new family with Lauren's mom. Because Lauren is Portia's half sister from that. So yeah, I think Portia has a lot going on there. Sipudi at Denise Crumble. Okay, I can see that and definitely got tricked. LOL. Y'all, I love y'all. I love my candy canes. Black girls getting their shit together. Mel isn't a total victim. No, she's not. I think she's very, very calculated. And I do think that I think Melody and Martell have a toxic love. A toxic love for them. Can I give us says Martell's a single man. Yeah, he is single. Or is he? Yeah, because he's not claiming Arion, right? Miss T says the baby is definitely Mark. It looks just like him. Yeah, that baby is definitely Mark's baby. Definitely Mark's baby. Sip with D at Black Girls Getting. Cardell, that's his name. Cardell. Thank you, Miss T. Black Girls Getting their shit together says Cardell Stewart. Yep, Cardell. Yep. Remember all that? And allegedly she was like his beard and all this stuff. And I can't. Young Ray says, okay, now, is that Phaedra? Can I get minutes, Phaedra? Is that you? Y'all silly. Y'all are silly. Let me see what you guys are saying. Denise Caramel says, we love you too, Candy. Yes. Love you, love you, love you. Miss T says, it's definitely linked to child trauma with parents and love. Ashley is another example. She married her father. Straight up. Oh, Sipwood D says that Martell just went with Ariana on her B-Day trip. Well, damn. Can I get witness at Young Rich? No, just someone who sees reality from all prospects. Heck, we don't know these people. Yes. And with that, my beautiful candy canes, we are going to wrap it up and call it a night. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I came on later today than usual, but I wanted to get this live in. We'll be back on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm shooting 2 episodes for my podcast, and I will also upload those. So tomorrow I won't be live. I'll be on my podcast. And Wednesday we'll be covering the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I can't wait to watch and see that with you guys. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and share this with a couple of friends because a kiki is always better with community. If you're catching this on the replay, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And I love you, Candy Canes. Have a beautiful night. Thank you, Mots, for holding me down. I love you, and I appreciate your time so much. Black girls getting their ship dances. No, this is getting fun. I know. This was my second live of the day. Young Rich of Salt Lake was bomb. Yeah, so Wednesday we will be back with Salt Lake. I'll be back on Wednesday for Salt Lake City. So hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss the live. Black Girls Getting Shit Because Candy, come on my podcast. I will. Email me. My email is in the description box, and it's just info@candywashington.com. info@candywashington.com. And I'll come on your podcast. Let me know. But we're doing Salt Lake City on Wednesday. We're doing Beverly Hills on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm doing my podcast, so I won't be live. But I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for holding it down. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Be safe. There's the Delta variant out there. There's crazy, just everybody be safe, okay? Just be safe. Keep your wits about you. And I will see you guys back here on the Candy Shop. I love you guys. I will see you next